Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Victoria and welcome back to my channel. I haven't been on in a while, so I thought I was... What are you doing, mister? Lunchbox is tearing up my setup. I thought we could do something super fun, and that is watercolor painting. I got a little easel here and I'll go through everything that I'm using, but disclaimer, I haven't done watercolor painting in like... Stop! Get down. Goodbye. I'm gonna be honest, I skipped online class today. Sorry, Dad. But I really just wasn't feeling it. I wanted to get into the creative zone. I haven't been able to do anything because of having to read an entire book in like a week, which, okay, that might not sound like a lot, but I get so distracted and I can't sit still for like 30 minutes at a time. I don't know. But how are you guys? Things have been just absolutely so weird in the world, and I have been kind of trying to do my own thing to calm myself down, and I wanted to tell you about one thing that I've been really into recently, I would say in the past couple months, and this kind of style slash lifestyle has been trending for a while. In fact, it kind of comes from like the 19th century, but I have really been into cottagecore lately. It has fueled my writing inspiration, and I am in the middle of like redoing my room. As you can see, this isn't the regular pink bedding. I added more leaves up there. I want a little bit more lighting, and instead of the pink, I'm gonna be starting to add in some warm tones. Cottagecore is kind of like taking over my life. If you don't know what cottagecore is, it's essentially an aesthetic or a lifestyle based around living in a cottage in the woods, and it's very feminine, and there's like plants and tea and baking and so many things. It's just kind of a way to escape the world that we live in. I guess the reason I'm really drawn to it is because I have kind of grown up working at several different farms. Also, sorry I use my hands a lot, I'm Italian, just like ignore that. And one of these farms was in a living historical museum in Massachusetts. And so a living historical museum is essentially, think of a recreated 1830s set farm town. It's absolutely stunning. So many New England buildings and churches and farmhouses, things like that. But I worked at one of the farms, and yeah, I had to dress as like an 1830s farm girl, and I did everything essentially would be in cottagecore. I gardened, I baked, I learned how to like sew tablecloths and stuff like that. And this cottagecore is really just bringing me back to loving that rural, humble lifestyle. Anyways, the whole reason I'm telling you this is because I want to paint cottagecore. I would really love to incorporate the cottagecore aesthetic of wildflowers and gardening and things like that into just a little like painting, nothing like super big, but just a single like mushroom or a flower or herb, and then kind of detailed, and then the genus and the species on the bottom. I'm also kind of hoping to make the paper look a little more rustic and kind of brown around the edges, you know what I mean, like an old book. So let me show you what I'm working with. First, I have a little baby easel. Isn't that cute? It actually came with a decoration that I had in my living room, but I thought I would just take this and use it. I don't know if it'll work because it's not necessarily a canvas that I'm using watercolor paper. I really hope it works. If anything, I do have tiny canvases, but I don't really want to use it. Second, I have a glass of water, and before I contaminate this actually. And then I have watercolored pencils. I don't have actual like watercolor tablets or things like that because I'm a newbie and I just had these on hand and I thought I would use them. And then these are the watercolor pads that I'll be using. It's by Masters Touch Fine Art Studio. I got it at like Hobby Lobby. We don't talk about Hobby Lobby anymore, but yeah, it was $5. This is one sheet of paper. It's durable, but it is paper. That's kind of just what you get. Also, of course, a very important part are the actual brushes. I have Benici brushes here. I got them on Amazon, and there's just like several different kinds of brushes there. I will probably be using the smaller brushes. I don't know too much about how to use brushes, but I think I'm going to be using the 8 for the outside and then maybe like a finer brush for the actual flower slash plant, whatever I decide to use. I think just using this time to catch up and talk about some things that are going on in the world, or just literally anything. Maybe I'll go back to cottagecore or something. But I'm gonna start with this brown here and just kind of shade in the edges just so lightly. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like this isn't working. I feel like I'm gonna have to put it on here. But yeah, you can ask kind of anyone that I'm around a lot. I literally have not been able to shut up about cottagecore recently. I got this top because it was like cottagecore-esque at a thrift store that I'm near, and it is literally just taking over my whole life. I think it's just so appealing to me because I get very easily kind of stressed out, and with just everything going on with elections, with online school, and kind of being isolated away from everybody, I just need kind of that escape, and that's what cottagecore gives me. It's this idea of almost living in like a fantasy, but the humble side of it. Living next to flower fields and maybe having a farm, living off of the land. But it's not just farm life, there's a feminine aspect to it. There's a beauty to it. Not that there's not a beauty to farm life, but farm life is a lot more get down in the earth, work so hard that you're sweating, where like cottagecore is more enjoying being in the moment and just having less of an effect on the environment and being able to be happy in the little things. There was a part of me for a couple years that really wanted to kind of live in the city, and I think there's still a part of me that would love to stay in Austin for a little bit, but now that I'm kind of here in a half city, half college town, I'm not so sure about that anymore. There is such a peacefulness that comes with being around less people, being closer to nature. Because I come from New England, I miss that aspect. I could go hiking whenever I want, and I didn't take advantage of that. But now, that's all I want. There's only a few kind of parks here. There are some farm stands here, but other than that, like, there is not much nature to be seen here. I guess I just don't resonate with the whole wanting to live in a city and having high-end fashion and riches and stuff like that. You know, I'm not like the other girls. Okay, I will never do that again. You know what I mean? I just want to get away from all of this rushing to be the best or have the most kind of outlook on things. That's why I've also been taking a break from Instagram, is because I feel from Instagram, out of almost all of the platforms there are, it has the most of making you desire to have different things, whether it's a different body or different clothes or different career. I want to be happy and content in where I am, and I'm getting there. I totally am getting there. Okay, so I just finished darkening this paper, making it look a little older than what it actually is. I used a reddish brown color, and I made sure that the edges were a lot darker than the center. I think it came out pretty well. There are some parts where I pressed down a little too hard in the corners and you can see the scratches, but I think it's pretty good, and it's probably just going in my room. So I think now I will let this paper sit for a little bit and let it dry, but I'm going to look at what plants I want to draw. I think I would really want to do something that's kind of medicinal and really colorful. So maybe something red or yellow. Ow. Okay, I think I found the plant that I want to use for my watercolor, and that is the Mikado California Poppy. So they're a yellow and orange flower that grows in California, and they're supposed to be really good for anxiety and helping you sleep. So I thought that was really nice. It is a medicinal flower. I guess I'll start just kind of like sketching it out. I'll just be using several different warm tone colors, and I guess I'll start sketching. What I noticed I really like doing is just lightly sketching it. I don't know if you can see that. It's so bright. But then to avoid the pencil scratches, I like to put the pencil right up to the wet brush, and that really helps dilute it into a paint rather than pencil scratches. Also, I'm going to be using number 6 now. It's a more pointed brush, and I think it'll help me get all of the really important details. In high school, I had a garden, and it was a plot that I think was like 18 by 20 something feet. It was like 23 or 26 feet. It was a pretty good plot of land for a teenager to garden on. I was really lucky for that. I grew a ton of herbs, and unfortunately I didn't grow chamomile, but I really wish I did. I really would have loved to make my own tea. That's kind of like a dream of mine, is to make my own tea. Not necessarily for selling, though I think that'd be really cool too, but I think the medicinal properties of different herbs and just messing around with the flavors is so cool. You literally have a kitchen at your disposal, at your hands, if you just step outside and you're in an urban area. But you have no idea like how many of the things that your parents call weeds are actually things that can be eaten and used. For example, in New England, and actually it's in Texas too, I think it might just be all over the US, there's an herb called purslane, and they call it a weed. Nobody wants it. It does so many amazing things. Not necessarily as a medicine, I don't think, but it's edible. And a lot of herbalists actually relate it to spinach. So it has these really spongy leaves, and you can put it in salad, and there are so many like vitamins in it, and it's super hydrating. And I don't know, I just think that's a really cool fact. I'm sure that my rant of just plants is going to only be interesting to a few niched people, but I'm gonna keep talking about it because it's just what makes me happy. And it's my channel, so if you don't like it, sorry. I definitely want to be more genuine on what I'm doing on my channel, and not that I've been disingenuine, it's just that I think I want to move away from more makeup stuff and go to different things, which is not a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. If you want to know how the color is going, I'm currently deepening the red and the yellow, so it actually is blending in, but I'm just doing it like very lightly. But I will get back to you when it's a little more done and we can keep talking. Hey guys, so it has been an hour or two and I have been working on the poppies, and they're coming out really nicely, and I added a stem and I like enhanced the color, but we still have a ways to go. So this is what it looks like right now. The lighting is kind of weird. It's getting a lot darker because there's a storm outside, but I will clip in a couple pictures of this, and it's coming out really great. And I added a little more darkness to the edges to really give it like an old library brown color, and I love it. I love it so much. And I started the stem, just a little bit of it, but I'm gonna do a little more work on it, and then I will clip in some pictures of it when I'm completely done. But I wanted to take a break. I wanted to open this package that I got from Etsy, and this is a candle. So I wanted a new candle to meditate with, and so let's open it. It's vanilla scented, and I'm super excited. I had not a Bath and Body's work candle, but like a candle light. I think that's what it's called, candlelight candle. And it has just a bunch of toxins in it, but this one is made of like all natural stuff and essential oils, so. Oh my gosh. It smells so good. So this is vanilla latte scented, and there should be like coffee beans on the top. Yeah, look at that. There are coffee beans on the top. This is by Red Barn Candle Company. It's handmade. Oh my gosh, and I can't stop smelling it. This is heaven. Like, this is heaven. I also got it because it looks very cottagecore-esque. This is my new candle. You know what? I'm gonna actually light it. I got these little matches at an antique shop. There's a little heart, striker? I don't know what you call it. On the bottom. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a pretty violent match though. Did you hear that? That was so violent. I thought I was gonna be burned. It's so delicate. It's so cute though. I'm in love. So I wanted to recommend some channels to y'all on YouTube if you wanted to do more cottagecore stuff or just feel that vibe. So the first one is Isabel Page. And she is a free-spirited girl. She lives, I believe, on a farm, but her story is really interesting, and she like will go out at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night to do who knows what, just like wander and make coffee in the woods, and then she'll get up really early, like 4 or 5, to do that as well. The second one is Jonna Jinton, and she lives in Sweden. She is so good at capturing the nature of Sweden. She literally takes like ice baths in the morning. She literally cuts through the ice of a lake and jumps in and has an ice bath to wake her up. She follows a lot of rituals from ancestors. She does all the work herself, all of the videography, the photography. It's amazing. It's incredible. It deserves an award. And the third person I would recommend is the Green Witch, and she is such like a soft soul. She is very soft-spoken, and she is actually studying to be an herbalist, but that's exactly what she does. So she uses herbs and stuff in her practice, and she is just like so positive, but she cooks a lot. She uses those herbs for medicinal purposes, and you can learn a lot from her. So I recommend her. She also lives in like a literal cabin. All of these YouTubers have really made quarantine a lot easier for me because I just kind of imagine myself in their position. Not that their position is not difficult, just that it's a whole other world from College Station. But yeah, I am just working on the stem, and then I will kind of just put in the last final results of this painting because I have homework to do, and I did not do anything today except this, and I don't even know what. This is all I did. Okay, so this is what I managed to get done. I think it's very cute, especially because this is the first time I have watercolored since like middle school, but I'm definitely going to deepen the colors. I'm going to add in just some more texture and depth to it, some shadows and stuff, and then I want to write the genus and the species. But yeah, thanks so much for listening to me go on and on about cottagecore and stuff. It is like, what if I just like turned my channel into a cottagecore channel? Would that be bad? I just love everything that it incorporates, from making things at home to just the very minimal lifestyle. It's just all great. But thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, maybe leave a comment down below. What is a style that you like? Do you like cottagecore? Does anyone else like cottagecore? I feel like it's just me. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notifications every single time that I post, and I will see y'all in the next one.